Hey guys, how's it going? Last one, fast one podcast, episode 3. We're doing kind of a younger swimmer, Nate Germonprez. He's junior Nats champion, state champion, high school state record holder, Texas recruit.
Texas commit, right? Texas commit.
Yeah, yeah,
There we
Yeah.
go.
yes, sir. Nate, we're gonna start it off with some questions. How'd you get into swimming?
It started when I was pretty young. So my family kind of has a history of swimming. My mom swam collegiately. So I was kind of following after her. But it really started when I was about 7. I swam before that, just kind of swim lessons, just learning, just like getting to swim. But then I joined my first club team. I kind of committed myself to it when I was about 7. And that's kind of the beginning of it all.
Gotcha. And where did your mom swim in college?
She swam at A&M.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, so we have a little family rivalry.
Sweet. Sweet. And when did you realize, like, through your swimming career that, like, you had something special going on?
Um, I still don't think I really realize that. I'm just, just taking it step by step. You don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to think too far ahead. You just want to, follow your path. Is what my mom says a lot. And it's what I kind of go by is you just want to take it step by step. You don't want to think too far ahead. And it's just, it's been working for me so far. So I'm just gonna, keep doing it and see where it goes.
yeah. So before I was gonna jump to juniors, but so before juniors you qualified for Olympic trials. So
hmm
what made you didn't you not swim high school season?
Yeah, that year I didn't.
So how old were you when you got the trials cut?
I was 16.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, along with 2 other of my teammates, Luke and Mateo. They were also 16 when they got theirs, so that was kind of cool.
So
Yeah,
you
I
guys
remember.
got some stacked swimmers. Who do you swim for?
I swim for Inspire right now, Inspire Club
Oh,
team.
there we
I
go.
gotcha. Wait, so wasn't that at the sectionals where you made the 100 back?
Yeah, it was. It was
Uh,
it was actually kind of funny. So, I didn't swim the open 100 back at the meet because I was going for the 200 IM trials cut, which I didn't get. I think I was a couple tenths off, a couple hundreds off.
yep.
But then I was swimming the 200 back, and my hopes weren't very high for that. So I decided to do like the lead off 100 of that. So I did my lead off 100. I got the cut, and then I just had to finish the race. And I remember that the whole entire last 100, all I could think about was throwing up. And then I did. I got out of the water and I threw up. But that's all I really remember from that race.
Yeah, I didn't even know you could do that. So you can take the split of your first 100 and they'll count it
Yeah,
for
you can take the initial split. So like you can do that for 100 too.
Okay,
Like if you
cool.
want to get an initial 50 split.
you. Yeah.
But then you just have to finish the 100 and not get DQ'd, and
Gotcha.
it worked out.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember watching that. And then like I think the year prior, someone swam the 800 free and got the 400 cut.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's a rough one. They have to finish out an 800. That would
Yeah.
suck.
But you should have seen he was like 40 seconds ahead at the 400.
That's kind of funny.
All right, so now we're gonna hit on juniors. So you went to juniors, swam what, 2 IM, 200 free, 100, was it 100 back?
100 back, 100 free.
Okay,
It's a 5-day meet, so I'm missing another event.
I got you. Hold up.
And did you swim juniors the year prior as well?
Yeah, I mean, I did technically. It was kind of weird though with COVID. So it
Okay.
was called like winter championships, but I still swam it. So it was just a bit different. It was a much smaller meet, but it still technically counted as a
Gotcha.
junior.
Gotcha. So you go to juniors this year. What are some of the expectations that you're going in with it and goals?
Like for this summer juniors, like long course or short course or
Let's
both?
go short course juniors.
Short course. So we got how many months until that? Like 8 months, 9 months
Yep.
till that. We have a while till that. It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Taking it step by step. Right now I'm in long course training, and that's all I'm focused on.
Gotcha.
I have team trials coming up, so that's really my main focus right now. But once we get back into short course training, after summer ends, so in 4 or 5 months, that's when I'll really start to focus in on juniors. And I mean, goals are pretty high. I don't really care about winning. That's not what I go after. I just care about times. And one reason I just care about times is because I know that if I put a time in my head, which I want to get, the time that I put in my head is probably fast enough to win anyways. So winning isn't my worries. It's just about kind of beating my own goals. So just practicing, taking it step by step, as I said earlier, and just kind of seeing where we can go with it.
And did you have that same attitude kind of going into this previous juniors? Was that kind of
yeah? I mean, I was really excited for this previous juniors. I was swimming 2 free, which I knew was going to be fun. My freestyle felt really good in the water, especially like during high school season. So I was really excited to go into this juniors. IM was feeling good, so it was a fun juniors overall. It was cool to be at the Texas pool.
Right.
Kind of see what the future is going to be like for the next 4 or 5 years.
For sure.
So it was just gonna be a good experience.
And you want to tell the audience what you win at juniors? The times, some pretty ridiculous times you dropped.
Yeah, well, 2 free was probably my best. I was a 134.1, which going in was about a 2-second drop from what I had. I went in with a 36.1. And then I was a 35.5 in prelims, and then finals it was like another second or like second and a half. That was the best race. 2IM
and you won the 2 free, right?
I did win the 2 free.
There you go. You're a humble man. You're skipping out on all the important parts.
then 2IM I didn't do that well. It was a rough because I was right next to Maximus Williamson. He's a 15-year-old. He's crazy. And on my back to breast turn, my arm locked out and I pushed off the wall and I started my breaststroke leg with like a dead start. Like I kind of bounced off the wall. So I didn't have a push off for breaststroke. So I got absolutely gapped by Maximus and my time wasn't that good. But then I time trialed it and I went a 144.9 in the time trial, which, breaking 145, that's solid. That was kind of my main goal. But it was kind of unfortunate to like miss out on that finals experience because I know it would have been faster. Then what else did I do? My 100 frees weren't that good. I think I let off a relay with my best 100 free at the meet. I was like a 3.9 or 3.8, a 43.8. 100 back, I let off the relay and I added like 0.2, so that wasn't that great either. I don't even know what other events I swam. All I remember is like the 2 free and 2IM. Those were the best events. Those are the events I had the most fun with.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I remember watching those on videos. That's insane. So then you go swim the pro series before state, right? Or was it after
right
state?
After state, like a week or two after state. I think it was actually. So we had state, like Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
And then I left on a Tuesday for pro series, like the Tuesday right after.
To swim next to Caleb Dressel in the 100 freestyle.
Yeah. That was fun. The finals was the best part because we were all in a super like tiny walkout room basically. And we all kind of shoved in there and there are no chairs for some reason, so we're all just standing up talking. So it was a cool experience to be next to those guys. It was fun, getting to race like whatever, how many Olympians were in that heat, like 6 maybe. It was just a cool experience. I met some more Texas guys too. I met Shane Cassis, who just transferred to Texas. And I met Will Lacone also. He's a breaststroker. So it was a fun meet. It was really laid back for me, at least. Like I had no stress. I haven't swam long course in 8 months. So I just went into it with a completely open mind, and it was a good experience.
So you had no long course, and then you just went for it.
Yeah. The day before my first event, I did a whole long course practice like in that pool. It was like 4,500 yards or 4,500 meters just to kind of get myself warmed up. And I think that helped, but I mean, we'll see what we can do at the end of the season.
That's crazy. Some pretty good times there. You were what, 50.04 or something?
50.07 in the 100 free.
07. Gosh. Yeah. I mean, Luke, you talked about Nate swimming next to Dressel, but Nate, you almost got Dressel. You almost beat him, man. It was pretty close, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was a good race. I think he was hurting the whole meet. Yeah. My mom told me a story about how she heard him talk to his coach and just ask him why everything was so painful, which makes sense. He took a really long break after the Olympics.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he was hurting. I'm sure a lot of the other guys were hurting, but that just made it more fun. I got to kind of pace myself. So it was really cool.
And then the 2IM, did you place third? Is that right?
Yeah, I did. In finals, I got third.
Okay. Now, were you able to take the prize money? Do you get prize money for that?
Yeah. So first place is 1,500, and then it goes 1,000 and 500 for third. And I actually was able to take $500, but it has to be as like a reimbursement from what you paid, which we've paid well more than $500,000 or $500. So I was able to take that. And a lot of it's because of the new NIL rules for college.
Okay, cool.
And also that Nebraska, like NSAA, is one of the first high schools to allow prize money and to allow like NIL. So if Nebraska didn't have that, I wouldn't have been able to accept it. But I think we're like one of three states in the country who allows us to do that. So
okay, cool. Yeah, I was wondering about that because I was texting him like, "Damn, I wonder if he's gonna get any money."
Yeah, no, that was fun.
Yeah, we did. I did a little deep dive research on that 2IM this morning, and you're sitting at 47th in the world. That's pretty stellar for first long course meet of the season.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's cool. I mean, how long is this long course season? We're 4 months in, so that's not bad. I mean, it gives you a little benchmark. We can see where we can go at the end of the season.
That's outstanding. Oh, yeah. That's outstanding. So let's take it back to the high school. You and Luke both swam at that meet. I've swam there a couple of years ago. So I know it's an exciting meet. What's the high school? How do you get yourself amped up to swim high school when you're just blowing everyone out of the water?
Well, a lot of the time it's just kind of hyping yourself up. So you just got to race the clock. Yeah. It's not, again, for me, it's not about winning. Right. That's what I said earlier. That's not my goal. My goal is just to race the clock, to get best times, to keep improving upon myself. So that's really just my main focus going into high school, is I wanted to become really efficient. That was one of my goals. And I think I did pretty well at that. And it was just racing the clock. The state meet was fun. It's packed. I remember watching it on TV. It was not like that last year, partially because of COVID, or all because of COVID. But this year, it's packed. The atmosphere is really high. So that definitely helped too.
Yeah,
for sure. And then after state, you move on to NCSAs.
Yeah.
Hold on, Luke. Let's hit him up on the. I gotta ask him a couple more questions about state here.
Oh, okay, like the record.
Yeah. So let's talk about the 200. You get the state record, take down Jacob Malachek, and fun fact, he's coming on the podcast tomorrow night.
Really?
So we're getting him on. Talk about getting that state record, and how'd you feel about that race?
Well, I had pretty high hopes for the 200.
Yeah.
I went in to prelims wanting to take it out fast and just trust that I could hang on. And I wasn't smooth with it. You want to, when you're racing 200s, especially, you want to feel smooth. You want to feel relaxed because it's a relatively long race. In prelims, I was not smooth at all. I was choppy. I was pushing myself too hard, and it just kind of felt unnatural. And and I think I was like a 35.7 in prelims, 35.6. So that wasn't that great. I wasn't too happy with that. It just felt kind of unnatural. And then finals, I was really tired after I think I anchored the 2 med, and I had like maybe a 10-minute break or turnaround after that. So I was pretty tired, and I knew that I knew I wasn't going to get a best time, just with the conditions I had, I wasn't going to get a best time. So I just wanted to make it feel smooth. I wanted to, just feel efficient. And I think I did pretty well at that. So even though finals, it wasn't the best time, it was still, it felt smooth, it felt efficient, and it felt pretty good. So I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And just watching as a spectator, I mean, you made everyone else look like it was like their first time in the pool. But you just obliterated them, and it was crazy to watch because, I mean, you were swimming against some stud guys, and you still made them look like it was this whole different level. You're on a whole different level. So it's cool to watch. Let's talk about the 100 fly. Let's talk about the 100 fly.
Yeah. Well, 100 fly was pretty good. Prelims felt really smooth. That was my main goal, to feel smooth and efficient. I was working my underwaters because that's what I've been training for a while. So prelims felt good. I think I was a 7.8, 7.7 maybe.
Yep.
And it felt pretty smooth, and I knew I had more to give. So then finals rolled around, pushed myself a bit more. Still, my main focus was feeling smooth and feeling efficient. And I did, and I pushed myself a bit more. And then it was a 47.2, so it was about a 3/10 drop, which isn't bad, given it's like another like 30-minute turnaround after the 2 free.
Right.
So it wasn't bad. I'm pleased with it. I definitely think I have more to give if I'm fresh at like another high level meet.
Right.
But for what it was, I'm pretty pleased with it.
Yeah. And what was the decision to swim the 100 fly versus to swim another event? Because, I mean, you could have virtually done anything and you would have got the win.
Yeah. Well, 100 free, I think anyone can kind of do 100 free. So we didn't want to, I think as a team, we didn't want to use me for that.
Okay.
Because we can put in a lot of guys to the 100 free, and a lot of them could place pretty high.
Right.
100 breast, there's Kale, and we didn't want to race Kale because he could actually beat me. So that was a pretty risky race if we went into 100 breast. 100 back, we have Colin Davis. So he's our backstroker. He was our dedicated backstroker this meet. So we were letting him have the backstroke. 50 free is kind of a toss-up between me and Tommy. I think at the time, it's whoever was feeling better could have won. So that would have been a pretty risky race to go in. 2 IMs right before or after 2 free. I'm not sure.
Right.
But they're back to back. So I was going to choose one of those.
Okay.
And I chose 2 free. And then the only race left is the 500, which we had Jack Ellison, and he won. So that was pretty cool.
So it was a team decision. What was
that? It was a team decision. It was kind of, we put everyone into place first, and then we just figured out where I fit at the end.
Gotcha. That's sweet.
West Side's wild card.
And you went going in, were you thinking about your 100th off the state record, were you? Is that right?
Yeah.
100. Was that on your mind before, or were you just kind of just doing your own thing?
No, I was just doing my own thing.
Okay.
I think after I touched and I saw the 47.22, I didn't know what the state record was. And I was like, is that, I was wondering to myself, but it wasn't, that's not a big deal to me. That's not my main focus. It's just, improving upon myself. It was a drop, so I'll take it. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Who knows? Maybe next year. We'll see. What
do you like swimming the best? What event do you go up and you're like, this one is so much fun?
Any freestyle right now.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I like 200 freestyles in yards. And I think any long course freestyle, so 50, 100, 200 freestyle.
Okay.
My freestyle has been feeling really good at practice. It's feeling smooth, and it's feeling efficient, and it's feeling powerful. So whenever I go up to a freestyle event, I know it's going to be good because I know how I've been feeling at practice.
Yeah.
And that's like what I'm excited for. for team trials coming up in a couple weeks is the freestyle events, because I know it's been pretty good, and I'm just excited to see what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got any like goal times for that team trials? So you got 2 free. Do you swim 2 IM there?
I'm swimming 2 IM. I'm doing
What's the
100
event?
free the first day, 200
Yeah.
free the second day, 50 back the third day, 100 breasts the fourth day, and 2 IM the fifth day. So it's a pretty long meet.
Yeah.
100 free. I haven't really set any specific goals for myself, but I want to go
Okay.
fast. I want to drop a lot of time.
Yep.
I think I don't really like setting time goals, because then usually if I don't get them, I'm pretty upset with myself.
I gotcha.
But I just like, seeing constant improvement. Obviously this meet is about winning, because if you win, you go to, you're on the world team, you're on the USA team,
Right.
and you get to go to a meet in Lima. So
Right.
this meet kind of is about winning. So that could be one of my goals. There's a lot of fast competition there, so I know that if I do win, it's going to be a good time, because there's a lot of guys there who can go really fast.
Right.
So that could be one of my goals, but then again, as long as it's a good meet, as long as I have good times, I think I'm okay with it.
Okay, cool. And I know they just canceled the junior worlds, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it was in Russia,
Right.
which obviously now it can't be. So they didn't cancel it, but they just rescheduled it, or they just moved it. So now they're still holding it, and I think it's scheduled to be in Lima, Peru, which is still a really cool spot.
Okay, so is it going to be the same time as the other one?
Yeah, I think so. So. It's like mid-August or early August.
Okay, so to fill in the viewers here, Junior Worlds is 18 and under for men. Is that right?
Yeah.
And is it the same qualifications for Junior Worlds, like top 2, 18 and under, go to the Junior World team?
Yeah, so top 2 in events like 100 backstroke and 100 breaststroke and 100 fly. But then any events that have a relay, like the 4 free and the 8 free, it's top 4. Because you need 4 guys. So those are the cuts. It's kind of like trials if you're trying to qualify for the Olympic team. Top 2 make the team, and then the top 4 in the relays make the team.
Gotcha. So you're swimming with everyone though, right? It's all together. Like Caleb Dressel's going to be there, and then okay, so you're going to swim the heats with them. They don't have their own like prelim finals for 18 and under.
Yeah, well, they have. I think how it works is they have 2 finals.
Okay.
They have an A and B final, and that's if like a junior can make that or a senior can make that. So an 18 under can make that, or an 18 over can make that. And then they have a C final, which is after the A final. And that will be dedicated to 18 and unders.
Oh, sick.
So because it'd be kind of unfair if there isn't a heat with only 18 unders, because then basically no 18 unders are going to make finals.
Right.
So they have a single heat like after the event that's dedicated to 18 and unders if you didn't make the A or B final.
Okay, so that's in Lima. If you make it in Greensboro, you go swim in Lima.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And do you know what you're seated for? Like, how do you compare to other 18 and unders?
I think for 100 free, I'm going in second right now. Okay. I was seated first, I think, but Daniel Deal just went a 49.7, which is about 0.3 faster than what I went. So 100 free, I think I'm second. 200 free, I think I'm third or fourth.
Okay.
50 back, I have absolutely no clue. No one really swims 50s, so that one's kind of a toss-up. 100 breast, I also have no clue. I qualified with my short course time, but I think it'll be pretty fun. My breaststroke's been pretty good. And then 2 IM, I think I'm going in second.
Okay. Cool.
So, it'll be a toss-up. I could make it and some I could not, but it'll be fun. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's really cool, because I thought it was straight up canceled. So I was like, dang, that sucks for all the H and R's, but I'm glad to hear that they rescheduled it.
Yeah.
That's dope. What was I gonna say? So where's the world championships for where are those at for everyone? What are those
I
in?
think it's the same. I
Oh, so
think
it's
I think
also
I think we all go to the same meet, except I might be wrong. You should not quote me on that.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, let's transition back to NCSAs. Luke, take us into that one.
Oh yeah. All right. So you had a great meet there. So you actually swam breaststroke. So kind of like what made you choose? Because it's not particularly your best stroke, but you still went for it there.
Yeah. Well, kind of the thought process going in is I swam 100 fly at state.
Yep.
So I kind of had an updated 100 fly. I knew I could go faster with it, but I was pleased enough with it. And that was the same day as the 100 breaststroke. So it was between fly or breast. And since I just did 100 fly, I was like, all right, well, might as well do 100 breaststroke. So that was the 100 breaststroke. And then the 200 breaststroke day, I think was that the 2 free day?
I have no
Uh,
idea.
I don't know. Or no, maybe it was 100. No, I swam the 100 back. I don't know what other day that was or what other events were on that day. But I know. It was the 50 backstroke day. So it was between the 2 breast and the 50 backstroke. And I was like, well, I mean, 50 backstroke is fun. I swam it last year at NCSA's, but it's not a real event. So I was like, I want a real time. I might, if I'm going to use a whole day to meet to do an event, I might as well get a real time from it. So that was my thought process for the 2 breast. And then, the 100 breast was between the 100 fly or 100 breast. And I chose breaststroke for that one.
I got you. And then 100 breaststroke, you go into it. I forget what your seat time was, but you dropped 53 low during prelims, and then in finals you and Kale duke it out. Take us through that. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. I think I was a 342 in prelims, which was a point like 6 or so drop. Points, yeah, about 0.6.
yep.
And I knew, I mean, both me and Kale, both of our goals was to break 53. It was definitely possible. None of us did it, but I mean, it was still fun. After prelims, we were kind of hyping each other up. We were just like, we're both going to go under 53. That's what we kept saying to ourselves. And I mean, it was fun. It was good to race with him. It was actually like the first time I've ever raced him like side by side in 100 breaststroke. And it was a pretty stacked final too. I think there were like 3 or 4 53s, maybe 5.
5.
But it was fun. So it was just a good experience. I know he's a little bummed that he didn't break 53. But his time will come.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because he's going to college in Princeton, so they're definitely gonna work on him there. So you go 2 breast, 154. What 5?
54.8.
Yep, 54.87. That's great. That's a big drop from prelims. Like, where did that
Yeah.
come from?
I don't know. I was in November. I've only swam like 5 2 breaststrokes in my life. In November, I went to a meet. It was an I-fly meet, and I think I went in with a 200 flat or a 2004. And then I was a 59 mid low in prelims, and then I was a 58 mid low in finals. So I was like, oh, that's cool. My breaststroke, it got a bit better at that meet. And I think what I really changed for NCSAs was I kind of used my strategy that I used for the 2 free. So my 2 free strategy is I take it out fast but relaxed. I don't hold anything back. I kind of blast a kick. I have fast tempo. I have good underwaters, and I just trust that I can hold on because I trust that I've been training hard enough. And I trust that my taper is good. So that's what I do for 2 free is I take it out fast and trust that I can hold on. And that's exactly what I changed for 2 breast. I didn't pace myself. I just went out, it kind of a controlled sprint, and I just trusted that I could hang on. And I did for prelims. And then Honestly, I don't know how I dropped like another 2 seconds going from prelims to finals. That I was not expecting that. My goal was a 54. Um, that's what, like before prelims or after prelims, after I was a 56.77, I knew it was possible to go a 54. I just had to have a really good race. And from prelims to finals, I changed only one thing, and it was my stroke count. So prelims, I was like 3.55, and then like 6.7, 7.78 or something. So I got pretty high. And then for finals, I just wanted to maintain 5 strokes the whole time. I wanted to be more powerful and more efficient. That's what like 90% of my swimming has been based off of for the past 6 months, is just efficiency. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to take 5 strokes, and I did. I was 3.5, 5.5, 5.5, and then 6.7 on the finish. Because you do want to pick up your tempo on the finish. But I just focused on efficiency, and I focused on power, and just like holding my glide and pulling as much water as I could, and it paid off.
Gotcha. So after NCSAs, we already pretty much glossed over world trials. I've just got a couple questions. Paul, do you have anything to finish it off?
Yeah, I do. I do got some. I do have some questions still. I want to talk a little bit about Texas. So you
Oh yeah.
committed to Texas. I think Swim had you rated number 3 overall recruit for the 2023 class. I could be wrong, but that's at least what I thought I read. Talk about kind of the recruiting process. When did you start getting recruited, and if you took any other official visits, and what other schools like you were considering?
Yeah, so I think it started, the recruiting process for everyone in my class started July 15th.
Okay.
And that's when schools could first reach out to you. And I think that first day, I maybe had like 3 calls. It was pretty hectic at the beginning. I had like maybe 40 schools that I had on a list that I had scheduled for a call.
Wow.
And I narrowed that down pretty quickly because I knew I was not going to be able to sustain that. But I wanted to meet everyone. I wanted to see what they had to offer. I wanted to see the coaches, because I know that I'll be seeing these coaches for a long time.
Right.
So I at least wanted to get to know them. And then I narrowed that down pretty quickly. I think I was down to 10 or so after a couple weeks, and that's much more, sustainable than 40. So I just kept narrowing it down until I was at 5. And then once I was at 5, those were the 5 that I was going to schedule my official visits for. And that was Texas, that was Indiana, that was Virginia, that was NC State, and that was Berkeley.
Okay.
So those were the 5 that were on my list. And I first went to Texas. That was my first visit.
Mm-hmm.
My second visit was Cal, and then my third visit was Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I actually canceled my other 2 visits with NC State and Virginia because I knew I was going to Texas. So the moment I was on the Texas visit, I had that feeling. Just like, the team was amazing. They're obviously a fast team. The coaching is amazing. And just the culture that they had was exactly what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to take some other visits, see if I felt that same feeling. But after 2 visits, and I didn't feel that same feeling, I knew Texas was where I was going to go. So I decided to cancel my other 2 visits. And then I called up Wyatt. He's the assistant coach. And I told him that I was going to commit, and it was a really cool experience.
Cool. And who were some of your hosts on the Texas visit?
Well, my host for Texas was Tim Connery. Okay. He's a freshman, and they usually have your hosts be people who kind of swim the same events as me, and he does. He's an IMer. He does all strokes. So we definitely had something to kind of talk about and bond about. And he's a really nice guy. He definitely made the trip a ton better. But just really, I kind of think if I had anyone as my host, it wouldn't have mattered, because everyone there is so nice, and they just have such a good chemistry, and the team culture is amazing. So Tim was my host, but I really don't think it would have mattered who my host would have been.
Gotcha. And did you have any coaches swing by in Omaha, or what was that like? Because I think I saw something. Was it Eddie Reese? Did he show up at your door?
Yeah, he did. So I started out, I think the first was Louisville. They came to a practice actually before recruiting started. So I couldn't talk to them, but they just wanted to watch. A&M came. And then to my house, Eddie came, Eddie and Wyatt. And that was kind of funny that he texted me and he's like, yeah, Eddie and I are gonna take our private jet down to your house. I was like, oh, okay, that's sick. So he flew down there. And then Indiana Ray Luz, he came down a couple times. I think he came down twice. And then Braden Holloway from NC State came down as well.
Wow. What's that like when someone tells you they're coming down on a jet to come see you?
it was funny. You know, I was like, what? You have a private jet? I mean, it's Eddie Reese, so I assume he does. But, you know, it was funny. I got a laugh out of it.
And did the coaches come before you made the official or after?
Before. Yeah,
Okay.
This was all before.
Gotcha. And so what's the timeline from July 15th to get your first call to what's the date that you commit to Texas?
It was quick. I'd say 3 months. Well, August, September, October. Yeah, about 3 to 4 months.
Gotcha. Wow.
Yeah, no, it was fast. It flew by.
Sweet. Yeah, that had to be quite the whirlwind. I got one more question for you. What's a week in training look like for you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right now it's pretty heavy training. We're not going all out because I don't want to ruin myself for this meet coming up. But let's just say we're on peak training.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, let's just say we're at about 95% right now. So it's almost peak training, but not quite. So today I had a long course practice. Tomorrow I also have a long course practice. So we practice Saturday, Sunday. Monday I have a double morning, night. Tuesday I have a morning, and then I'm off Tuesday night. I'm off Wednesday morning. I'm off Wednesday night. I'm off Thursday morning, and I go back Thursday night. And that's a full like 60 hours off, which is super important. You want to recover. You know, obviously the whole week has been heavy training, and just taking those mornings and nights off, you can catch up on sleep. You can catch up on schoolwork that it's in the middle of the week. And that just helps kind of tremendously, having a full 60 hours off, 2 days basically, over 2 days. And it's, I think recovery is pretty underrated. I think people kind of gloss over it.
Yeah.
And they just think that training is going to get you there, and it can. But a huge part of training is recovering from that training. Because if you never recover from that training, you're gonna be broken down always, and it's gonna be difficult. So taking that big break in the middle of the week really helps. And then we go back Thursday night, and then we have Friday morning, Friday night, and then we just repeat.
Okay.
And it's usually pretty heavy. We're kind of upping the yardage. So I'm doing more aerobic training. And that really helps with my 200s, because that's kind of what I'm specializing in right now. Considering my top 3 events are 2 free, 2 iron, and 2 breast. So it makes sense to do a pretty good amount of aerobic training. But then we're still getting pace in. We're still getting speed work in, because 200s are still sprints. So a lot of aerobic training, and then every once in a while, some speed and pace work.
Okay, gotcha. And on that recovery days, are you doing anything specifically, or just rest, or do you foam roll? Do you do anything specific?
I usually just resort to sleeping more. Getting an extra 2 to 3 hours a night.
Yeah.
That really just kind of rests me physically and mentally. And then, stretches, all the basic stuff. You can foam roll if you want. You can use, Theraguns. You can use Normatec. I don't have any of that stuff, so I just resort to sleeping.
Gotcha.
Go ahead,
I've just got some like simple questions. So we're just gonna What's your favorite thing to do outside of the water?
Probably video games with the guys.
Yep.
We have a lot of the Texas guys in my class right now, the guys who have committed, we just play video games together a lot. So that's pretty good since we can't see each other. One of us lives in Louisville, one of us lives in Indiana. So we're pretty far apart. So this is like kind of our only way to connect. And that helps a lot. Just even if we can't see each other, we're just talking to each other. We're still getting to know each other. And it's really fun.
Gotcha. How do you like stay loose at all these, you're talking all these 5-day meets and like you've got to like after one swim, you've got to be super tight. I mean, you just went all out. So how do you like stay loose?
Well, a lot of it's from practice. If you go to a 5-day meet and it's your first 5-day meet ever, it's gonna hurt. I think 3 of our guys on the team at NCSA's, it was their first 5-day meet and they were all destroyed at the end of it. But like I've been to plenty of 5-day meets and plenty of back-to-back meets. So I'm pretty used to it from that standpoint. Make sure you get a good warm down after your race. I probably do 10 to 15 minutes after each race of warming down, like specific stroke stuff. And then I always take a nap between sessions to kind of rest my body.
I gotcha. Favorite meat snack?
Go squeeze.
That just
Let's go squeeze. I want to get sponsored by them so bad.
you were to ear, I guess.
We're gonna do our best to get you sponsored by Go Squeeze. When I post this thing, it's gonna be at Go Squeeze, and we're gonna get you there.
Who owns Go Squeeze? Now I'm kind of
Perfect.
curious.
I don't know. I could probably DM them on Instagram, except one of my friends DM'd them, and they said they weren't doing sponsorships right now, so that's kind of a bummer. But I don't know. Maybe we can change their mind.
Maybe you could get your own flavor.
That'd be sick. That'd be awesome.
Paul, you got anything else to say? I'm pretty much out of questions.
All right, I got one. So I got this question from kind of another podcast. I put my own twist on it. If you could swim with one person, dead or alive, like, I mean, you can hit laps with Abe Lincoln or Michael Phelps or whoever you want. Who are you swimming with?
Like a practice?
Yeah. So let's say practice. You guys are hanging out. You're doing some sets together.
That's a good question. I've never thought of that. I'd want to do someone who swims the same events as I do.
Okay.
An IMer, a freestyler, a breaststroker. But then again, you kind of can't pass up on Michael Phelps. But I mean, he is an IMer and he is a freestyler, so probably Phelps. He kind of fits the categories.
Yeah.
And he's Michael Phelps.
There you go. And who's the coolest person that you swam with so far? Like, you swam like either at a meet or in practice that you swim next to you and you're like, holy shit, like this guy's swimming right next to me.
I mean, probably Dressel. He's the talk of the town right now. He was at Pro Series. I don't know if I was ever right next to him, but I was in the same heat as him a couple of times. So that was cool. But plenty of the guys there. Ryan Murphy was there. Shane Cassis was there. Zach Apple was there. So really any of those guys.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Luke, you got anything else?
No, I think we close her out. We've probably been going for this will only be like a 40-minute. This will be good.
Nate, do you have any words of wisdom for us closing out? Anything?
Yeah, any future swimmer words that you want to say now?
Future swimmer words, like any advice or just
anything that's on the top of your head.
Fix your technique first.
Okay.
That's solid. All right. Well, episode 3 of
Episode 3, yes. Thanks for coming on, Nate. Big time swimmer in the house. It was nice to come on to our small podcast here.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. All right, episode 3 in the books.